Hello and welcome back to Just For Today. I'm Jamal Normie.
Hey, I'm Miranda, the addict.
And we had a little delay in our episode release because we went on a little semi-vacation. But first things first, we have a scripture and it goes...
Psalms 107 and 29. He makes the storm calm, so therefore the waves are still.
All right, so that's actually a really good scripture from what we just went through.
Yeah.
But as soon as we went on our vacation, and to tie this in, we went on our vacation, and the first night it rained. First day it rained. It rained on the way out there. It rained when we got there, and then it rained at night. And this ties into being calm, because the first thing that happens is that we open up our tent and we have like a good couple seconds because we see the clouds rolling in to set up, and then the spine part of the tent just happened to be missing.
Wait. Let's backtrack. First of all, you have to preface the story. So a week before we go on this vacation, okay, we set up our tent because you have to make sure you have a tent before you go camping, okay? So we set up the tent. The tent has two sections. It has the main section and then the little section in the front. No big deal in the little section in front. It's just like an extra walkway. Well, we didn't have those sticks for the front of the tent. So we go to my sister's house and we find the sticks to the front part of the tent. I get the sticks and I put them with the tent, okay? We have a checklist to go over everything that we need on this camping trip, okay? Tent, check. Ice chest, check. Food, check. Everything's check. Who's in charge of packing the car? I don't know.
Who has the list? Who is supposed to be check marking this stuff as it gets packed?
So he packs the car, and he packs the car jam-packed tight, okay? And we're driving, and it's Utah. It's about 5 hours away. So we're driving, and the drive up there, all of a sudden it starts pouring down rain. Like, we cannot even see the car in front of us. Like, I was scared. I was thinking we have to pull over, like, and wait until this passes, the storm. Anyway, it stops raining. We finally, after going up the windy road, we get to our destination. It's not raining. All of a sudden, we get out of the car and it starts sprinkling. Okay, well, let's hurry up and get the tent made because we need to get all of our stuff out of the car. So we're getting the tent out. We're opening it up. I see the sticks, I get the sticks, we start making the tent, and he's like, where are the sticks at? I'm like, what do you mean, where are the sticks at? Did you pack them? He's like, then it turns into this whole, well, you were supposed to pack them. I didn't pack them, they were on the list. I checked them off the list, but were they in the car? Long story short, we didn't have the sticks to our tent. It was pouring down rain, trying to get a tent, the only tent that we had to sleep in at night, and we didn't have the sticks to make the tent.
And we're in Utah from Vegas, so we're talking 5 hours away.
2 hours to a store, 2 hours
with
to anything.
No signal. We had no signal up there at all.
Pouring down rain.
So we had to stop and think about what we should do.
Well, no, we got frustrated. I'm not gonna lie. It was frustrating. It was raining. It was cold. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, what are we going to do if we don't have a tent? And so again, I was gonna get frustrated. We can blame, well, it's your fault. It's my fault. At that point, I had to stop. We could sit here and blame each other for until we're black and blue. That's not gonna help the situation. We're in the pouring rain right now. What are we going to do? What's the solution? So my solution was, all right, well, we're just gonna have to get everything out of the back of the truck, lay down the chairs, and just make a bed right there. And luckily he got a canopy just to get the shade out. So we set up the canopy in the rain, mind you, in the pouring rain. And we threw all of the stuff into the canopy and put a tarp in it, and we jumped in the truck and we just had to wait.
Yeah, and this, rewinding back just a little bit, she's the one that said, she's the one that stopped and said, let's not get frustrated.
Yeah.
Let's Let's not blame each other. Let's get this thing done. Because that's the beginning of the vacation. It would have been horrible. We'd have been mad at each other. And I'm the normal one. And I had to take a step back and be like, yeah, you know what, you're right. That's the calm in that storm. Because even me being a normal person, my old me would be like, we're not going to talk for a couple days. And we were supposed to do, we got a vacation for 3 days.
And the old me would have been, and it was there. Vacation's ruined. Like, what are we gonna do? We gotta go home. Like, we don't have a tent. It's ruined. You forgot the sticks. I can't believe you forgot. But I had to stop. I had to stop right there. I had to stop and just, not make it go that way. Just I had to, change my ways of thinking and not go that way.
That's what it's about. It's changing how you think. Because you can't get stuck in your old ways and be in insanity. And that's what I mean by I learn from her just as much as she learns from me. Like, even though I'm normal, that doesn't mean I'm perfect. That doesn't mean that I'm infallible. That doesn't mean anything, really. It just means that I didn't do drugs. That's it. Normal doesn't mean anything. It's all about a state of mind. And that's what God teaches us. That's what we've learned. And it was an instant switch because you feel it, and then it was gone instantly as soon as she said that.
Yeah.
And old me wouldn't have had it. Old her wouldn't have had it. And that's one of the things we're saying. Changing the mindset. Change your mindset. Change what you're thinking. Getting in God, the calm in any storm.
Yeah.
You got to get outside of yourself. It can't be about you. It's me, her, and then we had her kid there.
Ariana was with us. Yeah. She was, poor thing. She was just sitting in the back, just waiting for the storm to calm down.
The physical storm out there.
And so we did. We went in the car and we just waited. We couldn't do anything. What could we do but wait? We had to wait for the rain to stop. And I kept on repeating. I was praying, and I was repeating it in my head. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that's exactly what situation we were in. I couldn't change the fact that it was raining. I couldn't change the fact that someone forgot the sticks. I couldn't change that. It didn't, I can't go drive 5 hours to fix that. I can't fix the rain, So I had to understand, I had to accept the fact that I cannot change the situation, and I had to accept that and figure out, okay, well, what's the solution? And this is just going to be the change from this point on.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, I know that's you're in literature, but that's out of the Bible too, isn't it? Is it the Trinity Prayer? I don't know. We'll have to fact check that. I feel like it is, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But that's what God does. He gives you the tools to handle the situation. Stuff's still gonna happen. Yeah. Like, that could have been the worst anything, but God gave us the tools, and I was instantly. I can't express you how I used to be. How just petty, angry.
And I was actually surprised that you weren't as mad, or you didn't hold that grudge, or you didn't ignore me for like an hour. We just both kind of just had to be in our little zone for like 10 minutes, and I think we both realized like this is out of our control. Like, we can't let this ruin our whole trip. So I was actually proud of you.
I was proud of you.
Thank you.
We both, it literally snapped out of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't even, it was instant. It wasn't, but again, tools, God, giving it to God, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's what it did.
And then we ended up being a good trip.
Yeah, but then it stopped raining. There were still clouds there, but we got out of the car. We were able to set up camp, start a fire. We had some good steaks, roasted marshmallows. And it was a good night. Other than me tripping on a rock and almost falling into the campfire, almost spraining my ankle and crying all night about it.
Oh my gosh, I wish I could have recorded that.
Oh,
I was up all night.
Yeah.
I had to run out into the wilderness in the middle of the darkness because somebody...
So we left all of our stuff in the canopy. All the bags that I packed were in the canopy so that we can sleep in the truck. And so that night, because I had fallen and I rolled my ankle, it was fine, but when I woke up in the middle of the night, I'm assuming it had to do with the weather, with the clouds, with the rain that we just had. I woke up with excruciating pain on my ankle. Like I could not move it. I couldn't. Like I seriously thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go to the doctor. Like this trip is officially ruined, you know. But I was trying to tough it out. I'm like, no, Miranda, be strong. Like be strong. Like you gave birth, you can deal with this. It's just ankle pain, you know. And he hears me tossing and turning, and he's like, where's the Advil? Where's the Advil? I'm like, no, I'm fine. You know, trying to be strong, and he doesn't want to hear me all night crying and complaining. But again, I was trying to be strong and just, you know, get through it. And he's like, where's the Advil? Outside in the dark in the canopy, like not inside where all the necessities should be. And so so he went out there, you know, just to make sure things were covered up properly and to grab the medicine. As soon as he gets out of the car, it starts to rain.
God.
Like pouring down rain.
Oh my gosh. And I should also explain stress from my point of view. This is 1 o'clock, 1:15, 1:30, 2:30, 3 o'clock, 3:15 that she's moving around and kicking her foot and crying. And that's when the light was on, right? You didn't close the door all the way, right?
When he came back in, the door didn't shut all the way. Yeah.
That was after I came back? Okay, so never mind. But she was kicking. Of course, I want her to be okay, but also I would like to sleep. So we're in the back of the SUV with the seats down. So with the seats down, we can't open the back of the SUV from inside, so I have to go out the door. So the seats are down, so I can't exactly sit up and get out as a normal person. I have to crawl out, like giving birth, kind of. I have to open the door and give birth to get out. So I stick my head out and it's pitch black, like you can't see anything. And because again, it's about to rain, and the clouds are covering what light there is from the moon. So we have these little lantern things, and I'm holding it, but it can only see about 5 feet every direction, and it's quiet and dark. I'm from the city, so I'm not used to that at all. So I have to kind of birth myself out the vehicle, face forward, and then kind of get my balance, and then run out there. And it's dark again, and I have 2 lanterns. And then once I get to the canopy, there's drip, 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 drip. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then she's like, the Advil's in the red thing. And then so I open up the thing. There's 9 red things, y'all. There's 9 red things. I'm like, which red thing? She's like, the red one. So I just grabbed all the red things.
I was wondering why you came back with things.
Because I grabbed everything that was red, and it came and threw it in there. Then went back, had to zip the thing back up, and then it's already raining. And then so I kind of just ran and then jumped into the back of the vehicle and then closed it, but it didn't close all the way.
So I think the blankets were there. Yeah. So since he didn't close it all the way, if you just tap on it, the lights go on. At one point, the alarm went off though, because Ariana was sleeping in the front, and we thought she honked the horn, but it was because the doors were locked, and it opened it, and then so the alarm went off on the car.
So then the last thing we need while we're trying to sleep is the car to die, and we're out there. You know, that would have been the icing. Calm. Yeah. God says be calm. So, but other than that though, the trip was really good after that. That was the first night was horrible, then after that it was very relaxing and calm. But it could have went a whole different direction from the start. Yeah. Devil test you. Yeah. He'll send all sorts of things your way, but you remember that scripture. You know, remember God gives you the tools to handle anything that can happen.
And He'll calm the storm, keep the waves still. You know, and that definitely. We had waves going that first. You know, seriously, that first day we had a lot of waves, but that was God saying, "Can you guys handle this? Let's see. Let's see the tools that I gave you. Can you make these waters calm?" And we did. Yeah, it was very nice.
God's gonna test you. That's not, you know. I look at it completely different. Things happen, and we can sit up here and blame God. Why are you doing this to me? Okay. But you got to be tested. You're not gonna. Once you're comfortable, you kind of forget. You know, to an extent. Just like with COVID. You know, we're out there, and then we came back, and then we forgot about wearing our masks. Yeah. You know, going into stores for a little bit. Yeah. Once And a lot of people, I think that's the issue with why they don't want to wear a mask, because they're calm. You know, they're not being tested, they're not getting sick, or they don't know anybody that's gotten sick or died. Mm-hmm. So you get complacent, you get calm, or you get comfortable. Yeah. So God has to test you to make sure you understand. And then also through it, we're able to tell you about it, so maybe you don't. So when this happens to you, not this specific situation, you can then.
Just other storms that you may be going through.
Right.
How to calm those storms. Because really, what if we would have let it ruin our trip, and if we would have had an attitude with each other from the beginning, like what good would that do? Like what, we were in a sense in control of how that trip would be. God was testing us, and depending on how we responded, that paved the way to our trip. So it was a good test.
There's a bigger picture. There always is a bigger picture. Yeah. These small little things that happen to us, we can throw a fit, we can get upset, we can blame everybody else, but what good does that do? And that's literally, I wish I could express to you, it was gone instantly, like it was.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Another thing that I got from this trip, because we had Ariana, my daughter, with us. She's 10, almost 11. And he always calls her my Miranda 2.0, because she's so much like me, And, I think it was like the second day, maybe the second day, or maybe the third day, that in the morning we were there. We're not outside people, okay? We're city people, so we complain a lot. And see, me growing up, it was always, well, if I can complain about it, it's released from me. So as long as I can complain about it, it makes me feel better. But I don't think about the other entity that has to hear about the complaint. So, here's Ariana, like, I can't remember what she was, and it wasn't complaining like she was miserable. It was just, oh, the gnats. Oh, just one thing after another. It was just like these tiny little complaints, and now I understand what he means by like how, complaining over every little thing. So it opened up my eyes on how I have to make sure I train her not to be so much like me, in the sense of like picking up those bad habits. Like to me, I'm just thinking about myself. Well, it makes me feel better. Let me just complain about it. Well, now that's her habit. Now she just learned how to complain about everything, and that's not a good habit. You have to learn to deal with it, be patient about certain things, and know that you can't control certain environments. Like, yeah, there's gnats, you just deal with it. Yeah, you have to pee outside, you gotta squat, we have to do it, you don't always have to complain about everything. I don't think it's a good trait to complain.
It's not.
Yeah.
Someone else has got to deal with it, unless you're complaining about yourself. But even when you're complaining about yourself, it's not really going anywhere. It doesn't necessarily release. There is a release in conversating about things, I think, but just complaining just to complain isn't really it.
Yeah, I have to work on that. I have to understand that a lot better, because I just always think, well, if I complain, it's coming out of me, so I no longer have to deal with it. That's not really dealing with it, though, is it? So yeah, bottom line, God will calm the storm so you can get through the waves, because there will be waves in life. It's just a matter of you knowing how to navigate those waves. So overall, it was a good trip. All three of us had a good time.
Yeah. And with that note, we're gonna leave you with that. We'll get another video out, but I will also include some bonus footage from our trip.
Make sure you watch the marshmallow one.
And then, we'll see you next time. Remember to keep coming back.
Stay clean.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Is there a countdown?
No, kind of. I'm gonna start talking.
And then you're gonna direct me to the scripture?
Yeah.
When he maketh a storm a calm, so that the waves thereof are still. No. He maketh,
Huh?
a storm.
Do you want to
calm.
say Psalms 107:29, pause, then look at your phone and read it real quick, and then come back up and say it?
No, because then you'll see the glitch. You can get it, just come on.
Okay.
Psalms 107 and 29. Can you make it? It's just because the wording, the way they worded. Okay, I'm gonna need like 2 takes.
Okay. Ready? Hello, welcome back to Just to. No. Delay because we went on a vacation. Oh yeah, okay.
He maketh the storm a calm. And 29. He makes the storm calm thereof. I can't do it. Hold on.
That's weird, huh? I'm trying to
He
remember
makes
it.
the